Hello everyone. So, before starting, let's take you all to a journey. A journey to that place that almost all of you have experienced. Do you all know the song Chichi Likho Pratidin? Chichi Likho. Noile Bachte Parbo Na. Do you feel the words? Can you feel the words? A trust, an attachment to the company somehow. A feeling, a bond to the company somehow, that the feelings that are going to be expressed in the letters, they are going to be sent to their dear ones without any hassle, without any trouble. Like they were just only 20 or 25 years back. But today, do we know the company that used to serve us that well? No. That's Bangladesh Dak Bibhag, the National Postal Service. We have already kind of forgotten it. Why? Let's see the reasons and let's change the whole scenario that people will now remember this company better than any time they have remembered it before. So let's go a little bit into the case. So, what is our present scenario in this case? The main scenario shows us that the communication through letter that used to be present in 20 years back is now kind of obsoleted. And again, mass people are unaware of the digitalized postal services that are available in our government postal service company. And again, postal service employees that we have today in our Dak Bibhag, they're more like not doing their duties like before. There are some reasons. Let's see. What are the reasons? The main thing is they're not getting sufficient salary. Unless you have sufficient salary, you will not perform well. That's a kind of unavoidable circumstances. And again, our employees in the Dak Bibhag, they are not getting their desired scope for incentives. Like if they do well, what are they getting in return? They're getting nothing. That lump sum amount that they used to get every month, that's it. And again, the lack of technology-based service are one of the reasons for people forgetting their names. And again, the lack of automation in the processes of the services of our Dak Bibhag. Again, there's another thing. We already have established strong market competitors like SA Poribahan and like Sundarban Poribahan and some international competitors as well. DHL, TNT, etc. etc. And again, there is always a lack of transparency. Their whole process do have some lackings. And there are some symptoms through which we have discovered all these things. What are these? They are like the public perception. People are not really remembering those names that used to remember before, 20 years back, 25 years back. And again, the market dominance is mostly to the non-public companies that we have, the names I have mentioned before. And again, people have completely forgot the name that we used to remember. The next is going to become
Good evening, judges. Well, the objective is, after analyzing the case, making postal service a reliable and fast service through renovation, motivation, and promotion. So the thing that we have identified, the first issue is changing perception. It's a long-term process, but it's high time we start doing it. And the common notion that government employees are unreliable and rude, well, everyone is not like that. So we have to find out ways to change that. And there's something that before specifying our action plans, I'm going to say that I believe if revolution came to talking, we would have a revolution every hour, because we are so good at talking. And public are usually very much interested to find out issues that they can talk about against the government. So government needs to find out and find solid issues that they can represent themselves as a well-wisher of the mass people, so that they have a goodwill in the long run. Our Our primary target group are corporations and public limited companies, online shopping portals, corporate professionals. Secondary target group is consumers of banking services, consumers of postal and parcel services, middlemen involved in trade, and the people in rural areas. These are the people basically who, in the secondary that I've talked about, cannot actually avail or afford services like premium services like DHL and FedEx. So what we can do, the big idea is inclusion of electronic tracking services in both courier parcel and letters, and increase widespread use of postal cashier for money transactions. These are the two things that I think for now can make a revolutionary change in our public postal service. How? Electronic tracking system is something DHL uses, but usually for the imports that's coming from USA. But in Bangladesh, the postal service, government postal service provides this. For example, if I can see going online with the ID of my parcel where it is located right now, I could feel safer, I could rely more on the government, and there are issues that you can say people where there is no internet, what can they do? They can establish an SMS system, send a message, and the customer service will provide feedback that your parcel is there. So even without internet, we can achieve it through SMS. We have to allocate sufficient budget to improve the service. How? We need to improve the salary scale of the government employees so that they feel really motivated to perform. We need to bring in IT professionals and set up an IT department tailored to meet the needs of postal services. We need to communicate and promote the services to mass people. The parts and the benefits associated with the services that we currently have, we need people to know about it. We need to break the shackles of the communication gap. We need to train, educate, and motivate our employees. Recently, I went to the GPO and postal cashier thing. I went there were like 20 counters. Only one man in the corner was the one who could give me the information. So the 19 or 20 other people there, they were busy with themselves, but they didn't have enough information regarding it. They don't even provide me with the correct way how to apply for this. We need to improve transport and delivery facilities. We need dedicated transportation so that the parcels are safely and conveniently delivered. We need to establish digital postal goods. We need to partner with online shopping portals and corporations. How? There are many online shopping portals like Kego and Daraz, and also there are many brands who don't have their own delivery service. The government can partner with them, give them incentives so that their products are delivered to the Bangladesh Postal Service. We can use brand ambassadors to promote the use of letters and getting back to emotional and touchy like TVCs and radio jingles. Our business plan is that we need to have a value proposition of more for less. How? I'm giving you a lot of services at less price. Obviously, DHL cannot undercut my price. And surely the other services that I have cannot overperform. We have to give positive reinforcement for people to remind and recall through emotional attachment. We have a cost leadership strategy. I can assure that still we have the prices set that we had 15 or 20 years back. So even if that's increased a bit, that will not go beyond what the premium companies charge. We have a push strategy. Like if the government is providing this service, obviously public, mass people will definitely think, other than any other companies, government is the one most reliable. So they'll definitely go for taking the service from the government. We need to satisfy people beyond their expectations by providing quality service at less price. Next will be discussed on the next group.
I'm Rafat Islam, and I'm going to discuss about the promotional tools. Actually, the promotional, the logo itself of the Bangladesh Postal Service is pretty backdated. A runner running with the bag on the shoulder is pretty not actually matches with the recent circumstances or recent scenario. So rather we can use a Royal Tiger facilitated with the technology, and he's running fast so that people will think that something's change gonna be happening here. And we'll make TVCs focusing on the emotional attachment people feel writing letters, and we'll increase the frequency of using billboards, and we'll arrange a fair regarding the people of our consumer market who are our target customers. They will come in the fair, and actually they will be familiar with the parts of using the services of Bangladesh Postal Service. And there will be, at the very end, there will be a social media part, because nowadays social media is a very influential tool, and we will have a Facebook page.
Okay, guys, the time is up.
We will have our
I can give you 15 seconds to wrap it up.
We will have our Facebook page and YouTube channel where we will upload our tutorial videos regarding the postal services. So, and this is all about my part and Ryan.
I will just
10 seconds. No more. You can have 10 seconds max.
I actually had a plan to give a breakdown of our budget, but now the time is up, so I will just give the sum total of our budget, and that is 8 crore and 18 lakh taka for our promotional activities in next 3 months. And our team has given the big idea, and I'm sure all the other teams will give some ideas regarding this matter. But what we want to finish with a great note that no matter how big or small the idea is, a good will and a proper monitoring system can make a plan really successful. So our bigger idea is.
I don't have any questions. I'll just say one thing when you're presenting. In your introduction, I think you ran a bit too long. So if you can shorten that up a little bit more, I think we'll have more time to actually highlight your own suggestions, right?
Okay. Can we please go back to the primary and secondary target group? Since Bangladesh Postal Service is a government service, and every government service is an inclusive service. So, do you find logical to put the people in rural areas in the secondary target groups, and why?
Because already the rural area people are kind of obliged to take our services. Because the only service they are getting is the post offices situated in their areas. So at first we need to concentrate more on those people who are already getting the alternatives. We will have to make them know to promote our brand, our company to them. Then we will go to our old customers and give them a better service, not a little bit, more better service.
Okay. And another question is, you mentioned the poor salary structure. So, do you propose a different salary structure for the post service employees or the whole government system? Because their salary structure is as same as the other government structure.
As it is a corporation, it's already a company, but it's not like established as a public limited company. So, if they can make a separate salary structure for that company, for better serve to their customers, so it will be a better solution.
Right. Yes, thanks a lot.
Thanks.